everyone, welcome to spinpro17.com. Today we're going to use the matrix calculator and we're going to show you how quick and easy it is to make money using the calculator and our matrix sequence numbers and literally have control over any casino and any RNG. We just recommend that you do not write down the numbers because they do change, but we're going to show you real quick in a short period of time how just methodically, just doing this, taking a few short breaks, coming back in, you literally can play all day long and have a very lucrative second income. First, we're going to show you the one ingredient you need, which is obviously part of the SpinPro calculator, is the matrix sequence numbers. Now, what you're going to do is, and we're going to show you where we're going to spread these bets out, is you're going to use payouts of 5 to 1. That's what you are going to do. You're going to use 5 to 1 payouts. You're going to put in a bankroll. Let's just say it's 1,000 units, because that's what we look at, right? Because if you're playing with a minimum of $1 bets, then each unit is worth $1. If you're playing with 50 cents, each unit is worth 50 cents. So if this was 1,000 units, it's $1, it's $1,000. If it was $500 in your bankroll, and you would have 50-cent play, like you're using 50-cent chips, it would be 1,000 50-cent units. If it was 25 cents and you had 1,000 25-cent chips, then, do the math. Okay, it'll be $250. Okay, the next thing we want to show you is, before we begin playing, is where you're going to be placing the numbers, okay, based on the sequence that pops up. You have 3 blocks, okay, of 12 numbers. In each block of 12 numbers, you have 6 numbers. So you have 2 separate blocks inside each of these blocks. The first rule is never leave the block. So let's say your number was 25. You're not going to go here because you're going to be splitting the blocks of 6. So let's say your number was 19. 19 is in this middle block, but it's in this block of 6 numbers. So you're going to be putting your chips here. Okay, so you're covering the row of 19 through 24. If your number was 5, you'd be splitting it in this block, covering these 6 numbers. So you're always going to be covering 6 numbers times 2. Your bet's always going to be 2 bets, and you're going to have to look at the unit value. For instance, let's just say your spin number was 4. Okay, in this case. See these sequence of numbers? You're always going to be betting two of the sequences, okay, which is 9 and 22. In this case, you would be putting here, as you can see, 9 is in this block of 6. 22 is in this block of 6, so it's 2. You're going to be playing 2 units. Do not write these numbers down. This is the downfall that you're going to have, and you're going to screw yourself up real bad. And the reason why we say don't write it down is because, look, you see the numbers 9, 22, 18, 31? Just remember this, 9, 22, 18. If you were to write this down, you're only going to hurt yourself later on, because if the number 4 came in, okay, look at this. That's a whole different sequence. Now, you notice before it was 922. If you had used the number 9, all right, that's 8. There you go. That's 6 and 34 to start off your sequence, okay, because you're going to be doing 2 numbers at a time. Again, you use the number 9, and look at what happens. That changes. Use the number 9 again. Let's say it came down 3 times in a row. That changes. So don't use, don't write these numbers down. What you need to pay attention to is the number of bets. It's always going to be 2. Without further ado, let's jump right in and show you how easy it is to make money playing roulette. Okay, so we're going to show you in a short period of time how quick we're just going to make $10. Okay, take a break, come back, whatever the case may be. You can go after $20. We just recommend it as long as you, hit $10 or more. Sometimes you may want to push it, maybe 15 or more. Take a couple of minute breaks. Just log out of your casino and come back. Only because you give the wheel a chance to reset, and any algorithms they've based on your patterns, it'll disappear. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is you're going to need numbers, right? So you're going to put in your spin. Quick process. Okay, some of you who have the capabilities of using a rapid spin or a fast mode, oh, forget it. You're going to absolutely kill this in a short period of time. Okay, in this case, your number is 19. Okay, so you're going to do is you're going to put in 5 to 1 odds. Okay, you can manually just type it in, right? That's what I recommend everybody do. And we're going to put a bankroll of 1,000. And the reason why we're doing that is, in this case, our minimum bets is $1, and our bankroll on the bottom here is 1,000. Okay, so our first number was, as we can see, was 19. So we're going to put in 19 here. Every time you have a loss, you're going to click on L. Once you have a win, you click on W. You're going to reset the calculator, and you're going to put your current bankroll in. Okay, so you're going to be betting two numbers at a time. And if you happen to have two that are in the same or actually covered together, you're just going to skip over the next one. We'll show you that in a second. So here we go. Your first bet is going to be, it says 1 unit. This is what's the most important that you need to remember, to look at aside from your numbers. Because once the unit increases, if you only have a couple of misses, you gotta follow what it says. So your first bet is 20 and 10. So we're going to go here. So 20 is here, 10 is here. I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is. Endless money all day long, especially if you have fast mode. And it doesn't matter what the RNG is. Okay, so you had a miss. Your number is 2. That's not a problem. You're not going to input that number. The only time you're going to put a new spin number is after you win. So you're going to put L here because you had a loss. Okay, now it still says 1 unit, but you used 20 and 10. So now it's going to be 10 and 29. Okay, follow the lead here. 10 and 29. You're just going to keep using 2 of them at a time. Believe me, you're going to make some good money all day long. Okay, if a 0 comes, well, you just skip over it. You just, continue moving forward. In this case, you had a hit. Okay, so you're already ahead by 2. So now you're going to put a W, so you've won. That's it. So now your bankroll is 1,002. No problem. Put in 5 here. Put in 102. And the number that came down was 28. Okay, the only time you're going to log out is when you clear 10 or $15 or more. Okay, so again, 2 bets. 1 and 23. Okay, that's your first play, which is 1 and 23. And it only says 1 unit. We already know that. That's why we're doing it. Okay. And 32 came, didn't have it. You're going to put an L here. So what's your next sequence of numbers? It's going to be 23 and 27 because you used 1 and 23. So you're always doing, the last one and the one that's following it. So you have 1 and 23. You're now going to be 23 and 27. So 23, 27. Again, you have the patience. Not a big deal. You're not going to stay on there long. You'll actually see the time, how long we've spent playing. Okay, so 6 came in, didn't have it. Not a problem. And your bankroll is really not going to get hit at all. When I say hit, you're not going to have a major drawdown. So now, pay attention to the units, okay? You missed that one. Notice it says 2 units. You've used 123, you've done 23, 27. Now you have 27 and 18, but it's 2 units, okay? No problem. Oh, get rid of that. 27, 18, it says 2 units. Okay, you'll have a lot of fun doing this. And, those of you who just want to make $100 a day, that's easy. Very easy. Okay, so here you go. You had a miss there. I mean, we're glad there's a little bit of a drawdown so you can see. In many cases, you're not even going to get this far. You're probably going to, first or second spin, you're going to hit. So your last bet was 27 and 18. Now it's going to be 18 and 21, and it's asking for 3 units. So you go 1, 2, 3. Oh, and 21 is here because it's in this block of 6. Okay, I am going to turn a profit. That is for certain, without any hesitation. Okay, there we go. Sum at 1,006. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is a win. As you can see, I'm at 1,006. I'm going to put in a bankroll of 5 units. Put in 1,006. What was that number that came down? It was 19. Same thing when we started. Okay. So it's 32 and 15 now. Okay, I'm going to put in 2. It's 32 and 15. 32 is here. 15 is here. Okay. Again, with fast mode, you'd be clicking along. You wouldn't have to wait for all this, spinning and spinning and spinning. Okay. And again, sometimes you're going to do it in your first spin. Sometimes you're going to do it in your second. So your next number is, you had 32, 15. Is going to be 15 and 19. Okay. So you got 15 and you got 19. Okay. And you had a miss, 7. Not a problem. I'm looking for a specific pattern to come up so you can see if you have 2 numbers that are back to back, you just skip over the next one and then, continue on from there. So now it's going to be 19 and 4, and it says 2 units. 19 and 4. Am I going to make a $10 profit or more in a session and then take a break? 100%. 100%. Okay. 29 came down, didn't have that. Okay, no problem. So now you're going to be 4 and 21, and it says 3 units. Okay. Again, it's not all the time that you're going to, have, 3 or 4 deep, but it can happen. Doesn't even matter because I'm just trying to find situations here so you can all see that there's not going to be a major drawdown. Okay, so now you did the 4 and 21. Now it's going to be 20, 21 and 4, and it's asking for 4 units. And we actually happen to have been there already. 21 and 4 is already here, so we're just going to add 1 to it. Okay, and like I said, guaranteed I'm going to clear my $10. That I am going to do in a short period of time. Okay, 16. Now this is what we wanted. So we can show you what to do. Because this happens sometimes and you're going to be like, okay, so what happens now? I used up my numbers. No, you didn't. Now that you have the 21 and 2 that you just played, now it's going to be 2 and 32. Follow me now? So you're not going to put a new spin number in there. That's only for when you win. So it's going to be 2 and 32 and it's asking for 6 units. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And 32. Okay, it's got 6 units each. Okay. There you go. Simple math. I mean, usually I'm going to make 10 or more dollars within 10 minutes, so I'm not worried. Okay, there we go. Where am I at? I'm 1,008. And that's because we happen to have had these misses. Okay, so at that point, your number 2 came down. What you're going to do is hit W because you won. 1,008, reset it. Put in 5 to 1 odds. And 108. I'm hoping, let's put in the 2 here, that we can see where there is some numbers that are back to back, but not yet. In other words, see, this is 21 and that's 27. That's your next bet. Let's say this was 21 and 23. Then what you would do is 21 and skip over that and go to the next one. If you happen to miss, now you take your second one and your third one. Okay, but right now it's 21 and 27. We just want to make $10 or more, take a break. And again, the time that we're doing this in, if you had fast mode, it would have been half the time. Okay, so number 1 came down, didn't have it. You got to put the 2 in here. Okay, L, and hopefully we should do it by now. 27 and 23. 23 and 27. Okay, and here we go. Oh, not yet. Okay. Where are you going to go with this? It's going to be, you had 21 and 27, 27, 23. Now it's going to be 23 and 3, but it's 2 units, okay? Just remember that. 3 is here. 27. Is it 27? Yeah. No, it's 23 and 3. Make sure. Got to pay attention to where the numbers are, okay, folks? It's 2 units. There you go. Okay, so I'm already $12 ahead. If you look at the time, notice this. I've only been playing for 9 minutes. Okay, so in 9 minutes, I'm ahead by $12. That's not too bad. Okay, if I'm ahead by $12 in 9 minutes, I take a break and I come back. I can pretty much be assured that I'm going to make at least, $20 to $30 in a half hour. Right, and in an hour's worth of play, I should be able to make anywhere between 40 and $60 or even more if I keep playing or if I had fast mode. Okay, so there's no reason I shouldn't make a few $100s a day. So what I did was, we had that previous bankroll of 112, 1,012. What I did is I decided to reset this. I can show you one more time. I am going to go and just try to make another $10. So remember, we started with 1,000 and we made $12 profit within 10 minutes. Okay, so because when I close out the wheel and I open it back, it's going to be okay. So what I did was I just took a sharp break, and we're back. We have $1,000 bankroll again to start with, just to show you one more time. Okay, and remember I had cleared this out and put in 1,000, right? Because we already had $12 in 10 minutes. And sometimes, again, with fast mode, you're going to be ahead that much in 2 minutes. Okay, so in theory, there's really no reason you shouldn't make $100 in an hour. I mean, that's goes without saying if you're going to play for that consecutive hour. So let's just do this real quick. Remember the drill. You're going to spin. You're going to get a number. I was hoping in the last session that I showed you that we had numbers that were back to back. so you can actually see um, how to skip over one. Um, I think now this wouldn't happen, but there you go. You're going to put in your 2 units, actually the 2 bets, which is 4 and 22. Let's run it out. I'll show you. It happens quick. You know, um, if you're going to be playing for, like, say, 30 minutes straight out, when you do have a hit, I just advise you to just, put one on red, one on black, and force a couple of spins and then continue on. That's if you're not going to close the wheel, but it's always good once you make 10 or 12 to close the wheel. Okay, so 0 landed. That's not a problem. Okay, that's just considered a loss. Okay, and you're going to put in 2 here. So your next number is going to be 22 and 35. It still says 1 unit. Okay, and we'll show you. The video is worth the time, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so 29 came down, no problem. I'm going to put an L. And you got 35 and 6 now, and it's 2 units. I can tell you that right now, and I will show you that. See, it says 2 units. That's what you need to pay attention to. Okay, and again, don't write down the unit amounts, because if you have a win, you're not going to be needing 2 units. Okay, so 14, and you're going to put, it's going to be 3 units it's asking for. Now, we did the 22, 35. We have 35 and 6. Okay, was your last play. Okay, so now you're going to have 6 and 8. Okay, for 3 units each. So 1, 2, 3, and 6 and 8 is here. Okay. Again, you're not going to have a major drawdown. Sometimes if you happen to go deep, you'll go a little deep. You're probably 30, 40 bucks, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay, 26 is your number. You didn't have that. So I'm looking for drawdowns so I can show you. So your next bet is going to be 8 and 33, and it's asking for 4. Okay, let's follow it. Okay, we got 4 units on there. Okay, so there we go. And 27 came. Great. So here we go. Now that you've exhausted that, you had the 8 and 33. Now it's going to be 33 and 4, and it's going to ask for 6 units. 33 and 4. And there's your 6 units. Okay. Again, you're going to have your times where you're going to have a couple of misses, and that's fine. I'm not really worried about it. 23 came down. There you go. So it's going to ask for 9 units, and now your bet, you had 33 and 4, is now going to be 4 and 22. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. All you put out was $18. Not too bad. Okay. And you had a miss. So I'm just looking for drawdowns here so I can show you. Okay, that you need not worry, because you have the bankroll. So it's asking for 14 units each. Your last bet was, okay, was your 22 and 4. So now it's going to be 22 and 35 at 14 units. Okay. And 35. And there's your 14 units, so you only spent 28 bucks. Okay, now you're probably looking at this and say, well, I'm in a drawdown of almost 100 bucks. Big deal. There you go. Okay, so you're ahead by 4. See what I'm saying? You have the bankroll. Now, once you clear this, see, as you see, you put in your 4. Okay, reset it. Put in 5. And 1004. Now, mind you, remember, you were ahead by 12 in your last session, right? So in this case, okay, so 21 is your number. So you'll put the 21 in. And it's 10 and 36. Okay, and I think I have found what I was looking for, and that's why I'm glad I kept the video going, because you'll see what I'm talking about, skipping over a number. So it's 10 and 36, and that's what we were looking for. 10 and 36. Well, if it hits, that goes out the window, but if it doesn't, you'll see exactly what we're saying. Okay, good. So you had a miss. Now it's going to be 36 and 8. Okay. So 36 and 8. Okay, this is what we were waiting for, and we got it. Now, this is what we wanted to show you. Now, notice your units is going to be 2 units each. So now it's going to be, you had 36 and 8. It's going to be 8 and 11. But guess what? 8 and 11 is covered here. 8 is already covered here, and so is 11. So what you do now is you skip over the 11 and go to 8 and 30. And if you miss, your next one's going to be 11 and 30. So it's going to be 8 and 30, and it's 2 units each. And this is where, again, you're not worried. You're going to make your profits as usual. Okay? So you skipped over it, right? Here you go. So remember, you had 8, you skipped over 11, so it was 8 and 30. It's always going to be 2 bets. Now you're going to use the 11 and 30, and it's 3 units each. Okay? So it's pretty much in the same column, right? So it's going to be 3 units each. You make your profit, and, you walk. You just want to make $10 or more, 15 or more if you want to keep playing for like a half hour. It doesn't matter. Okay? You had a miss there. So now you're going to be 10 and 23 at 4 units. Actually, not 20. Sorry. It's going to be 30 and 23 at 4 units. So you're 30 and you're 23. It's 4 units. I mean, everybody wants to win every single spin and just think they can just break out. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Just a little bit of patience and a little bit of time. So you're 1,006. Okay? You're going to put that in. Okay? I'm just going to get to that 10. So this way within a half hour you've made at least, not even a half hour play. You've made at least 20 bucks. If you're using $5 chips, it's one thing. If you're using each unit is a $2 base value, then fine, you make more money. Okay, so this is 29. I'm going to put that in. Okay. And your numbers is 24 and 5. 24 and 5. And should be okay. Okay. There you are. So you already made your 10. How long were we playing for? 8 minutes. So in a matter of 17 minutes, in 17 minutes, you've made $22 profit because you had 12 from the previous version. So, in 20 minutes, really, you've made $22, right? It's only obvious you're going to make, anywhere between $25, $30 in a half hour. Okay, so are you going to make 50 bucks an hour? Sure. I think if you played out the entire hour, you're probably going to make 100 bucks. So that's all it is. It's a very simple process. Okay, and sorry, let's put this in here, put the W. There was your 10 plus the other 12 from before. You're talking about $22. Okay, for people who work for $20, $25 an hour, you've made that in 10, 15 minutes. And that's because we had some progressions that went down. If you happen to have had hits early and you didn't have to go 2 or 3 deep, you're going to make that in far less time. This is the most secure and straight up way using the Spin Pro Matrix calculator to make pretty much money every single half hour, every single hour, every single day. And no casino is going to bother you because you're not, raising any red flags. You're not, taking home the bank, but you're pacing yourself making $20 to $50 an hour. Okay. Thank you again for watching. This should be very informative enough. Just remember, when you have duplicates in the same column, you just skip over it. All right. Good luck.